Isak almost finally out, Wissa almost finally in, and this really long window is almost finally over. Let's get on with today's video. Good afternoon everyone, welcome back to the Magnificent Mags channel. I hope you're all well. It's Monday, yes, it's the start of another week, and it's transfer deadline day. Normally, as we've all done in the past, I would have Sky Sports on the telly, but no, not this afternoon, because it will just be, I feel, all about Isak, and you know what, all I want to do is just focus on the players who are here. Now I know Wissa will be included in that, but I'd rather watch videos on YouTube from the likes of Keith Downey and Craig Hope, and possibly as well from the Geordie Journos. But yes, this window's almost over. Thank God. It's been long, it's been drawn out, it's been boring. It's been tiring, it's been exhausting, because it opened initially, didn't it, for the Club World Cup. So teams could get transfers in when that started, which was basically a money spinning tournament. And then, then it closed, then it reopened, and now it finally closes again tonight. Honestly, it's felt like it's went on forever. And Shay Given's comments for our game at Leeds when he was in the Sky studio on Saturday, I agree with him. The window should be closed before the season starts, because it leaves a lot of doubt over players who've been linked with moves away, and it just leaves the squad unsettled and the fan base unsettled. He's even said it himself. You're looking around thinking, "Ooh, is someone going to come in for me?" Or has he been linked with a move away? You can imagine it last summer when Gordon was linked with Liverpool. I can only imagine what it felt like in that dressing room, thinking, will he be here tomorrow? So yeah, the window should be closed, because it's really frustrating with the window being open for this long. But in a way, we've still managed to get our business sorted, it seems. I was going to bed last night and the news broke of Isak, so I ended up staying up till 1 a.m. this morning. But yes, a deal's finally been agreed with Liverpool. Now, I don't know whether it's 125 million or 130 million. Look, £5 million in footballs, like me going, do I want that bag of crisps or that bag of crisps? Like the small bag, or do you want the grab bag? That's how much 5 million the difference is in football. It's nothing, it's negligible. So whatever it is, look, doesn't matter. Could we have got more? Look, I've been strong on my stance all window, thinking, oh, we should get 150 million. That's factored in because he was on a 6-year deal, and I thought only half his contract had been amortized, so we should be at least trying to recoup that, because it comes off any profit. But when you look at the bigger picture, we have sold Longstaff, we have sold Lloyd Kelly, so I can understand in that way. And look, Liverpool originally wanted to bid £110 million. Yes, we probably wanted closer to 140. If it's 125, let's just go with a lesser amount in this case. Worst case scenario, we've met in the middle. So look, a compromise has been found. And look, have Liverpool bullied we? Have the club kind of weakened the stance a bit to allow them to go on deadline day, or like on the morning of deadline day, really morning in terms of midnight? Yes, I'm not going to deny it and say we could have got more and we have sold them for less, but at the same time, you've got to also accept that Isak's stance has just been, I'm not playing for you again. He's been training alone. Liverpool have got previous, like when they done it with Van Dijk, and then they came back in from later. They've come in at the start of the window. Clearly being tactics in the media. It'll be agents or clubs feeding them, and it's weakened our stance. Isak's stance has kind of eroded his transfer value, and we've just had to come to a compromise. And look, Isak's attitude and behaviour on this has left the club with no other choice. We've tried to give him a new contract. We've tried to offer him improved terms within the wage structure, but he's just said no. He's not reintegrated himself with the squad. Eddie Howe, clearly frustrated with all the questions in the press conferences. We're sick of it. Everything's about Isak. So look, it's just removing a dark cloud over the club, and we can just shift him on. This circus stops of every question being asked about him. I just want to concentrate, as I'm sure Eddie does, on the players who are here, who want to play for Newcastle United. And yeah, his position's left with no other option. The club have ran out, like as Craig Hope said, they went to his house. Now, the player should really be come to you, not the ownership going to his house, but it was one last ditch attempt to get him to reintegrate or stay. The club have been firm, look, we don't want to sell him, but you have to admit in the end, keeping him would have just been toxic and bad for the dressing room. So, and it all hinged, it seems, on the Wissa deal, because just as Isak's went, the deal this morning's been announced for Yoane Wissa. But yes, look, I'll like I've said, we could have got more from Liverpool. Offered less. We've met in the middle, and now that snake rat is down at Melwood. I think that's still their training ground, and he's having a medical. Everyone's happy. Isak's gone, and look, I'm not going to sit here and say he hasn't been good for us. He's been the best striker I've seen in the flesh since Alan Shearer. Like all my years as a season ticket holder, he has been great. That doesn't change it. But he's ruined his reputation since the cup final. I don't think he's tried. I've seen people sharing clips of all these misses this morning. But look, yeah, he's still been a quality striker. It's at 63 goals, was it, in 3 seasons? But he's also missed a lot of time through injury. He's missed 39 games in the last 3 years with, what's it? I've got it here, like 7 different injuries. I'll come to them when I'm comparing him to a new striker soon. But yeah, this is just what's had to happen in the end. Look, he's went on strike, went AWOL to Spain. They've tried to turn him around. It wasn't happening, and he's ended up going at the end of the window. And yes, it feels like a 2-pronged attack. We've undersold ourselves to Liverpool, and we've overpaid for Wissa. But look, just getting Isak out the door and a new striker in, I think everyone's happy, and we can just move on and concentrate on the football. Because I'm going to sound like Keith Downey here, but I can't wait for the end of the window tonight. And then it's the international break, and we can all reset and go again against Wolves. Because I honestly think, last thing I'll say mostly on Isak is, yeah, he's gone. Good riddance to him. And I feel like the first 3 games, we should have had at least 7 points. I don't think we deserve to win at Leeds. But if we had him or another striker in before then, I think we could have been on at least 7 points, maybe even 9. We could have been joint top of the league. But that's the way it is. You draw a line under these first 3 games, and the break's a good time to reset. New striker in, the rat's gone, and we'll go again against Wolves and then Barcelona. So yes, now he's gone. We've got a new striker in his place. So hot on the heels of Woltemade, Yoane Wissa. A deal was agreed this morning of £55 million. Well, it's up to £55 million. And you know what? I'm very happy with this. Look, I'm going to say right now, before anyone jumps in the comments, I'm not condoning his behaviour. What he's done with Brentford too, removing all these Instagram posts. You can't really disrespect a club like that in terms of everything they've given you in that platform. To sort of erase your history on there, it's not a good look. But his Instagram post yesterday, look, I even posted saying I don't condone his behaviour, but it's not the same as the Rat saga because he had a deal in principle. At the time, Brentford had reneged on that, went back on the promises. He thanked the fans, and in the end, he still trained. And I think, you know what, have we overpaid for him? On first viewing, on paper, for his age, I think he's 29 now, and yes, I do think we've slightly overpaid, but look, if he fires, we're back to the Champions League, or we'll go deep in the Champions League, and he gets, say, like double figures, 15 or more goals next season, or he matches what he done for Brentford in 19 non-penalty goals, then it's money well spent. Everything looks like an overpayment at the time, but that's just what it is. We could have got a striker in a lot earlier. Some of this is on the club, and it's also the market. Fees are all inflated, so you end up paying more, and it's the urgency and necessity of getting the player in when it's transfer deadline day. So yes, we've undersold ourselves for the Rat to Liverpool, and Brentford have kind of had our pants down. But long term, like I said, we've sold Longstaff, we've sold Kelly, we've got rid of a lot of surplus to requirement players out the door, got the money in for them, and look, we've got Wissa through the door. And we've paid Brentford the £55 million because we're the rejected 2 previous bids. But like I've said, look, I've got the comparisons here. He got 19 non-penalty goals last season, the exact same as Isak. And when it comes to injuries, the last 3 years, games missed, Wissa 6, Isak 39. And this is it broken down. Isak's missed games through groin injuries, 5 days, hamstring, 4 days, broken toe, 34 days, groin, 25 days, groin again, 31 days, thigh complaints or issues, 107 days. So that's 206 days missed and 39 games missed. Wissa's only missed 6 in 3 years. So he's more reliable. And what he brings into the club as well, I posted this online earlier, is he can really help Woltemade settle. Because look, Wissa, I think, is going to take the number 9. Woltemade is taking 27. I got that wrong the other day. Someone commented on my video on YouTube saying he took 27 because it's his mum's birthday, not our favourite number. So thank you for correcting us on that. I couldn't remember that at the time. I thought I had it right, but I've got no problem if I get something wrong. If you correct us, I want the info to be right that I put out there. But yes, Woltemade is more like a 10, you could say. Wissa's more a 9. So with his Premier League experience, he'll help him settle in. So that's a good thing too. And look, on paper, have we come out of this window stronger? I don't know. Time will tell. Because look, when Isak come in, he also had the benefit of time to settle because he had a Callum Wilson who was firing on all cylinders. And then when Wilson hit his injuries, which eventually finished his time off at Newcastle, Isak was already in his stride. But yeah, like I said, Isak's missed a lot of games. Wilson missed a lot of games. We didn't have a striker. Will Osula, what does that mean from? Craig Hope said this morning that Villa are interested in taking him there. That's dire for Villa. No wins, no goals scored, 1 point. Yes, I know we're only a point above them, but it's looking dire for them. They're apparently bringing in Jadon Sancho as well on loan with high wages. Their wages to revenue turnover is already close to the red line, and they've had to shift a lot of players off. So their season's looking bleak. And look, Osula's clearly fourth choice. If Gordon hadn't got a red card against Liverpool and he'd been available at Ellen Road, he would have played above Osula, so that says everything. Osula puts himself about. He tries, he's got heart, but he's not a player who can fit into our system, lead an anyhow team. He comes on, but he's a bit like erratic and he's all over the place and he doesn't really hold his line. He's not really pressing. He just runs out and chases everyone. So look, I feel like he's going to drop the fourth choice. It'll be like Woltemade, Wissa and Gordon as the 3 strikers. So Osula, something late could happen. I just needed to insert this bit. While I was editing this video, it's broke that Will Osula is moving to Frankfurt for £30 million. £30 million. It'll be our 5th most expensive sale ever. Honestly, this window is wild. I think we might be done in terms of incomings now. I'd love to see another creative midfielder. I feel we're missing that in there. But Osula probably needs a loan or a permanent move just to kickstart his career. I like the lad, but look, you can't just have a player here because he runs about a bit and does TikTok dances. Like, we need players ready for 4 competitions. So yeah, will the window be better? Well, the squad's certainly stronger. I rate the window now as, I'd probably say a 9. You know what? Looking at the squad now, the squad is stronger. Yes, it can't be a 10 with the Isak saga that's went on. And no matter what you think of Isak, he's done, in my opinion. His legacy's tarnished. But look, at the end of the day, he's still a very good player when he's available. So it'll never be a 10, but I think it's a strong 9. And on paper, it looks like we've got a better front 2 now in Wissa and Woltemade. But time will tell, and certainly on terms of the money spent, will it be money well spent? We'll wait and see. But if we get Champions League again or we go deep this season, that money will soon be paid off and we'll be in a strong PSR position because we've still got a bit wiggle room to go now. So my last thoughts before I wrap up. This window, well, we've got Ramsdale, Chow, Elanga, Ramsey, Wissa and Woltemade. So you know what? I am very happy. Wissa, I meant, not Wissa. I was getting the German pronunciation in there, but he's Congolese. Oh yeah, we came up with a chant before. If you don't know if you've seen it, but Shola Rami Obe, Czech Tiote, Yoane Wissa, Demba Bar, Geordie boys from Africa. Someone said, why didn't you use Papis Cisse and Yoane Wissa? But it didn't rhyme, so that's why. But yes, I'm glad this window is coming to an end. It's felt like forever. I feel like I've aged. I feel like I've got more grey hair and I'm not 38 for another week. But yes, I'm just glad it's come to an end. We can all put it to bed and just rest and concentrate on football after the break. But that's it from me for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like this video and you'd like to see more, turn on that bell. Please subscribe. And please also like my other social media accounts as well. And please do the same for my friends at Magpie 24/7, Magpie Ultras and NUFC 360. And you'll also find us on the new Fanalysis app if you're part of it too, through Sky Sports. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please comment if you want to discuss anything I have talked about today. And I'll be back later in the week with one final video before I go to Seville on Friday. So for now, take care. Bye-bye.